Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test again. Test test test. We are good.
Good evening and welcome to the MaxLaxOC Game of the Week here at Tustin High School, the home away from home for the Foothill Knights as they take on OC's #1, St. Margaret's Tartans. We are Wednesday night lights tonight, first night game for St. Margaret's. And once that sun sets, it'll get a bit chilly on the field, but right now it's quite comfortable. Shadows have fallen across the field, no sun at play, and the teams are huddled up for the final comments from their coaches before they take the field. We have a #1 versus #3 matchup tonight. It was looking to be a 1 versus 2 until Foothill fell last week to Mater Dei. Mater Dei leapt one spot up and Foothill fell 1 to #3. It is a tight race there at the top with St. Margaret's certainly dominating, but those 2 through 6 spots are very much up in the air. And quite frankly, the 2 through 12 spots are very much up in the air this year. We have a lot of parity in the league, a lot of one-goal games, a lot of teams that are close to upsets or making their upsets. And for Foothill, they are looking to make a statement, as are the St. Margaret's Tartans. You have to imagine that both of these teams will end up in the OC Final Four if they do what they're supposed to do, and that is win their games in the playoffs. They will definitely have top seeds. No result tonight will really affect them being in the top 3. In fact, I think even if Foothill won tonight by the power ranking formulas, St. Margaret's would still stay #1. But they will end up with the high seeds going into the playoffs, and those high seeds are favored to win, and if they do their job, they will make it to the Final Four. For those that are curious about the seeding process, the end of the season is this week. No more games will be played after this Friday, and a 7-member committee organized by the Orange County chapter of U.S. Lacrosse will meet to determine the seeds. They start with the power ranking formulas, but then they give it a little bit of a human eye, make sure that the computer and the algorithm gets it right. They consider each matchup 1 versus 2, 2 versus 3, and if there are upsets, say the #7 team beat the #6 team, they discuss whether that 7 should swap with the 6. They also consider strength of schedule. They consider results against common opponents and a variety of other factors as they try to make the final determinations of playoffs. If you are on Lax Power looking at the power rankings, those are going to hold pretty strong, but you might see a little bit of movement, you know, from 12 to 11, from 13 to 14, from 8 to 9. You typically will not see someone who is jumping 2, 3, 4 seeds, as you may have seen in the past before it was codified the way it is. A little bit of a delay here getting started, not too sure why, but looks like the Tartans are now calling their final cheer and breaking for the draw circle. Both of these teams just loaded with talent. Both of them have girls that will ultimately be playing at the next level. For Foothill, Brooke Williams committed to Cal, Lauren Kilger committed to San Diego State University, Vanessa Topete going to Chapman. On the other side, Kaylin Young going to SDSU. She'll have a teammate in Lauren Kilger in a couple years. Nikki Miles, actually next year. Kaylin Young is a senior. Nikki Miles will be going to UPenn next year, and Maddie Barcate in 2 years will be at Harvard. Yes, that is Harvard in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And they are set for the draw here. Whistle blows, ball is up. We'll see where possession goes. Looks like Barcate picks it up right ahead of the restraining line, faces the double team, shakes it. Foothill settles into their defense. Ball goes up top to Miles. That's Nikki Miles, the older sister. Nikki Miles, who senior sister to freshman Jordan Miles. This St. Margaret's team with 3 sets of sisters. Kinsale and Shea Houston, Nikki and Jordan Miles, and Olivia Young and Kaylin Young. On the turnover down low, Foothill was able to take it. I think that was on a call, and now we have Brooke Williams steaming toward the net. That's not what you want if you are St. Margaret's. Certainly that is Brooke Williams' most dangerous position on the fast break with a head of steam. She is now set up with a little space on her right hand. Look for her to bounce this shot. Or put it right past the goalie high. And Foothill is on the board 1-0 at the 23:57 mark. That is Brooke Williams, superstar attacker for Foothill. Brooke Williams for Foothill, probably their most lethal scorer. She has 76 goals on the season coming into today with 16 assists. Teammate Ashley Stokes, who is good for 57 goals and 29 assists in 13 games this year, is out once again with a concussion she suffered a couple weeks ago against Santa Margarita. And we have off the draw Margaret again with the pickup. Moves it to Miles. Miles makes the feed. Late check, deflects the shot, goes wide, but St. Margaret's able to scoop it up behind. And ball is now top center with Margaret. Now top left with Kaylin Young. That's top left if you are the goalie. Now back behind, back right if you're the goalie here now. And they kick it up to the top to Nikki Miles. Miles gets around her defender, faces the crash, takes the shot and hits it right off the post. Hard shot, beat the goalie, but could not put it into the cage. St. Margaret's picks up the ground ball, resets. Oh, and a beautiful play by Becca Nalen. You got to look out for her. She's sneaky back there. She reads those plays. She'll occasionally fade out there just to force you to pass it long and way around her so you can't attack that crease. And there, she read it beautifully, was able to sneak out, get the little one-handed grab. And then with the quick outlet before those attackers could crash on her with that big vulnerable stick. Beautiful play by a seasoned veteran in the cage. And now we have Lauren Kilger moving it into the St. Margaret zone. She is top right if you're the goalie, near side here to Brooke Williams. And they call out their plays. Against a team like St. Margaret's, even a strong team like Foothill wants that ball in their stick. The St. Margaret's has so many scoring threats and they are so dangerous that taking a minute or two before even trying to attack on your offense is often the best play. Just keep it in your stick, keep it out of their stick. And they work it around with one more pass. They will have spun it and they move it to the top there. And that's Kilger. Kilger moves it down low and now behind to Peyton Puma. Puma now on the near side here to Bella Escalette. Escalette up top to Williams. And Ava Brand looks like she's in. Thought Ava Brand was out with a concussion. Looks like she's getting the call. Ball kicks up top now to Brand. Brand attacks, and we see a really good example from this angle of a shooting space. Noob note out there, if you're watching the game and you haven't seen a game before and you wonder what that call was, that is a shooting space violation. Obstruction of free space to the goal if you're reading the rules book. Here comes Brand. Late check there from Kaylin Young. Beautiful defensive play from a strong lacrosse player. If you have the ball in the offensive end and you are threatening to score, the defense cannot get between you and the cage unless they are actively defending you. That is within a stick's length. That is, the defense can't just jump in front of the cage to prevent you from shooting. The girls do not play with helmets or really excessive padding, and so they try to protect the girls with those sorts of rules. And so when you see that call before they take the shot, that's usually what it is. And on the good defensive play, ball went down. It was a 1v2 on the ground ball, and it looks like an empty stick check or some sort of a cover or foul against Foothill. Put the ball back into the stick of St. Margaret's. Kicked it up to Margaret. Margaret to Kaylin Young. Back to Margaret, and she is running now with a head of steam. Has Jordan Miles. Jordan Miles, little fake, buries that shot against the grain. A beautiful play by the freshman, Jordan Miles.
Goal number 12, Jordan Miles.
It's beautiful lacrosse there, working the fast break, showing off their stick skills. I counted 4 or 5 passes there, and then the finish was beautiful. Jordan Miles getting left to right across the cage, and as that goalie is dragged with her, puts it back against the momentum of her own run with a nice hard shot, low, virtually impossible to stop. And the score is 1-1 at 20-22. On the draw, we have Ava Brand and Kaylin Young. Sometimes St. Margaret's will put Maddie Barcate in there. It looks like they're giving Kaylin Young the initial calls tonight on the draw. Of course, in any game, the draw is so important, but especially in a game between two top teams. Often what happens on that draw circle will determine what happens with the game. Those extra possessions that you can get off that draw, just like Maddie Barcate did now, I believe, for her third draw control, that time with the one-handed reach. Grabbed it, beautiful little cradle, expert move, and they move the ball down to the right side. Ball is top right with Kaylin Young, and then top left here with Barcate. She dances around a little bit, shakes the defender, and kicks it to the near side here with Audrey Larson. Down to Megan Vandenberg, and then across to the far side there. Coming up, that looks like Campbell Case working that far side. Case now with the ball, dangerous from that wing position, kicks it down low. Flag went up. Flag went up, and the coaches on the St. Margaret side wondering why they lost the flag. Generally, when the flag goes up, a foul has been committed, but the ref is going to let the player follow through in case they can get a shot and gain the advantage. But if they don't get the shot off, usually the whistle goes to the mouth and the free position is instituted. In this case, the ref put it away. I guess she decided that the choice to make the pass was the player's choice, and she wasn't going to blow that whistle. Now we have Jordan Miles working from behind. Defensive help on the crease from Kilger. They're working that far side there. And now Campbell Case with a quick head fake. Nice low shot. And Becca Nalen with the unconventional save. Got her stick on it, sort of popped up over her head. She lost it for a moment, but her teammate picked her up, grabbed that ball from the loose ball from just outside the crease. And now, really nice play from Allie Binder. Knocks the ball down, and then a great play on the backside with Vanessa Topete, who gets the ball back, gives it to her goalie, Becca Nalen. Becca tries to hit Brooke Williams on a nice long pass. Brooke Williams fails to come up with it, and now fighting for the ball. Looks like the player ended up on top of the ball, so she's going to be called for a cover, and that is about as literal a cover as you can get. For the noobs out there, a cover is when you put the back of your stick on the ball on the ground when there is someone else fighting for it. In that case, it was her entire backside covering the ball. Easy call for the ref, perhaps the easiest I've seen. And now Brooke Williams takes the foul at the restraining line. She's looking for the clear here. She's got two hard riders in front of her and two that are going to be crashing from behind. She might need some help, but it looks like she's going to just turn those wheels on, work the outside, shake those defenders, and use the nice outlet to Brand. Brand back to Brooke Williams. Brooke Williams working the top left, kicks it to the far side there. That looks like Lexi Falbo on the far side. Having trouble seeing the number. Top right now with Kilger looked and pass, and she does not see that as Maddie Barcate was sneaking up on the pass, and now Puma back kicking it behind to Falbo. Falbo to Brand. To Brooke Williams, who ducks up and under and buries the shot. Looks like she might have gotten that near side. Defense was crashing on her. Goalie came out to attack. And it looks like she snuck that just on the inside there. Nice play by Brooke Williams. You see her raise that stick up, and as those girls crash, she dips, gets that shoulder, plays it almost like a field hockey player, getting that ball low, almost impossible to check, and then pops it up for the late shot. St. Margaret's goalie, Ellie Jones, was coming out to meet that stick and somehow was unable to match stick to stick. In those tight quarters, that's what you teach your goalies to do. Match it up stick to stick. You have that big, wide tennis racket style stick. If you could just cover the opposing player's stick, then usually that ball will go into your pocket. And now on the draw, we have Brooke Williams taking the draw for Foothill. Looks like Coach Kate Hick wanted to make the adjustment after losing a number of early draws, and to no avail as Nikki Miles is able to come up with it. Looked like it wasn't as clean a draw win for St. Margaret's that time. They seem to have just been having their way. That time it had to go through a Foothill stick. I believe Williams might have just barely missed the pickup or had a quick check on it, and it was Nikki Miles who came out of the stack with it. And now Campbell Case will earn the restart here on the far side, right side. Ref is having a little difficulty placing the defenders. Seems like Brooke Williams could just wind up there and get the automatic shooting space, although that would be a bit of a chintzy call. And now here we are on the left side with Audrey Larson. Larson back to Vandenberg. Vandenberg now playing it to X with Campbell Case. Campbell Case gives it to Young. Young back to Case. Looks like they have a stack on the top side there, looking to just run cutters from about 8 meters and potentially maybe work that clock face. A 2v2 on the crease with Campbell Case and Kaylin Young would be a very dangerous and scary thing for any defense, and they kicked it up top for a shot, got it to Nikki Miles. Nikki Miles took the shot. Looks like there might have been a shooting space violation there, or perhaps a push or an illegal check. I did not spy the call. Looks like a good path to the cage. Nikki Miles very dangerous in this situation, and that is why about as easy a shot as you're going to give to a player of that caliber. You saw she had no real crashers on either side of her. She had all the field on her right-hand stick, and she just waltzed in there and was able to put it away. If you can get that goalie moving at all in that position, in that situation, it's any good player is going to be able to score. And the only time a goalie is going to be able to stop it is if they know ahead of time through some sort of ESP where it will go. And we are nearly 10 minutes into the first half. Foothill 2, St. Margaret's 2. Brooke Williams now, again, taking the draw against Kaylin Young. Certainly St. Margaret's doesn't want to do anything different. They have just been winning the draw non-stop. Little reach over there on Jordy Miles, and they're going to call that against Miles. In that situation, it's a tight one. She can reach over with her stick, but until there's possession, she's not able to step her feet over. Looked like she had her feet just ahead of the line, took a little push from behind, and that's what the ref called. And then on the ensuing possession, we have Campbell Case getting to cage. Nice little wrist fake, a little shoulder fake, and puts it high to the far side off stick. If you ask me, Campbell Case has the best shot in Orange County. You give her that sort of space there. She can hit it not just hard, but from any angle. I've seen her score from some very sharp angles across the face of the goalie. Very impressive stuff from Campbell Case all season. I guess that's how you get to as many goals as she has. She has 41 on the season, 32 assists. And on that note, St. Margaret's an astounding statistic. They have 202 goals this season, solid. 134 of those goals have been assisted. 66% of their goals have been assisted. Certainly they can drive past just about anyone, but just because they can doesn't mean they will. Expertly coached by Holly Riley, they play a high level of lacrosse. When you see that number of assists, especially at this level of high school varsity lacrosse, you know you're dealing with a very strong team. And now Foothill with the possession in the St. Margaret zone. A little bit of a mistake there. Kelly Cowdell just a little bit high on the pass, and the turnover goes back to St. Margaret's. This is definitely a game that we see can stay close, and in a close game, it's often who makes the fewest mistakes. So right now, Foothill looking to pick one back up. Nice little pass there on the inbound for the basketball fans out there, right to Jordy Miles, who's marching in. Looks like she might try to get through the defense for the shot, and well defended there. Probably could have taken the call. A lot of the times you're going to see any sort of stick contact in the 8-meter called, but when you have a 3-ref crew and you have 2 top teams playing against each other, they will often let them play with a little bit more contact. They'll often let those checks go, avoid the ticky-tack calls. They know a lot of these players have played high-level club ball and that as long as the game is under control and they're under control and no one's in danger, they might give them a little bit more leeway. And here we have Foothill working well against a pretty tough St. Margaret's clear. They had to go back, forth, up and down a couple times just to get it cleared, but they do successfully clear. Foothill now with the ball on the far side. That's the left side, top left, and now top center to Brooke Williams. Williams kicks it over to Kilger. Kilger back to the top. Ava Brand. Ava Brand playing in what I believe is her first game in a couple weeks after suffering a concussion. I saw the play against St. Margaret's. She took a couple sticks to the head, it looked like. So good to see her back on the field. Hate to see anyone knocked out for an injury, and especially the concussions. They can really linger. Looks like Brand back in action, though. And Puma now working it from X through basically every player on the St. Margaret's defense. St. Margaret's with the Stony Brook zone. As those players run around, she's just going to get met by one, then the next, then the next, then the next, and that's what they did. And now Williams in the 8-meter, dancing around, takes the, I believe, an illegal check. That time you may have seen the flag go up from the official, and because she did not get the shot off, she gets put on the line. And it looks like the official is saying when the flag went up, she was not in the 8-meter. So she's putting her on the 12, and she's not going to clear out the 8. Looks like we might have a little 3v2 on this side if Puma gets involved, but Puma was looking to back up. Came late on the cut. On a fundamental level, for those young players out there, that is the right instinct for Peyton Puma. She is behind the cage. She wants to back up the cage in case of the errant shot. But you did have the 3v2 on that side. Quick little pass, and if Puma had seen that cut 1 second sooner, it would have been a little 2v1 on the crease. And it looks like Foothill called our timeout, yeah? Yeah. I didn't even see whose stick it was in. I believe it was still in Foothill's stick, and so that would have had to have been, oh, it's St. Margaret's ball. St. Margaret's must have gotten that ball back and called the timeout. Looking like they want to regroup down there. Holly Raleigh coaching a very high level of lacrosse, so if she sees any player or any team concept that isn't 100% in sync, she's going to get that timeout and get that fixed, regardless of the opponent, but certainly against an opponent as strong as Foothill. She doesn't want there to be any lapses. Been a number of games in the Orange County area since our last broadcast, and in fact, I think at our last broadcast we hadn't even gotten caught up. Looking at April 17th, Esperanza took care of El Dorado 11-1 to take the Century SE League title. Esperanza with the best season in their history. Congrats to them and Coach Brian Eisenberg. St. Margaret's took care of San Juan Hills 17-4. Great Oak over Murrieta Mesa down in the Temecula area, winning 8-7. Mater Dei over Cathedral Catholic 8-7. I've been loving those matchups between those San Diego teams and the top Orange County teams. Cathedral Catholic, Torrey Pines, La Costa Canyon. See a lot of close games these days between those teams. Valencia over Dana Hills 14-1. Aliso Niguel fell to Trabuco Hills in 13-12. That Coast League is a really strong league with Trabuco, Aliso, San Clemente, San Juan Hills. Yorba Linda over Santiago 6-5. Tesoro over Laguna Hills 17-7. San Clemente over Mission Viejo 19-2. April 18th, we had Mission Viejo taking care of Edison 14-11. Edison, of course, in its inaugural season as a program, showing strong against a seasoned team, a veteran team in Mission Viejo. Beckman over Woodbridge 13-5. And speaking of Mission Viejo, if you're out there listening, a little shout out to my neighbor, Renata. Once coached at Mission Viejo, came back for a little reprise last spring. I now see her walking her dog in my neighborhood. And here we are back in action. We'll see what sort of adjustments, if any, our teams have made here. Looks like the ball is in the stick of Nikki Miles. That's number 4 down there behind the cage. You may have noticed that when the timeout is called in the midst of the play, the girls drop the sticks on the field, then they have to return to their sticks. There's no adjustments during the timeout. And nice, effective clear, assuming she can get the grip, and she does. Ooh, nice pressure there from Lauren Kilger, forced the errant pass, but Jordan Miles with the scoop at the midfield. Not the prettiest clear, and as I said, another ball goes down, but ball still in the stick of St. Margaret's. They're just looking for the opening now. Foothill chasing hard. We have Bella Escalate running hard across the field now, and Kaylin Young, and now to Jordan Miles on the low pass. She takes it right off her shoelaces, kicks it to Campbell Case, who looks to drop that stick low. Looked like she might have gone low to high there, and then with the little shoulder fake draws the shooting space violation. She has no one on her left, so she's got her stick on that side. It looks like tough for me to see from this angle. Oh no, still on the right hand. Keeps it in the right hand, gets past Tepede. But that's going to be an easier stop for a veteran goalie like Becca Nalen. She knows exactly where that right hand can go and can't go with Tepede crashing on that side. So she just stood strong, as a good goalie is going to do, took the hit and saved the ball. But St. Margaret's back with the ball, and now up top right with Jordan Miles. And now she kicks it low to Case. Case back up top too. Nikki Miles running 1v1 from the top, moves it to her left, looks for the shot, moves it outside to Campbell Case. And it's back up top with Maddie Barcate. Barcate, nice face dodge right around her defender. Meets the slide, beats the slide. Beautiful save by Becca Nalen on the first shot, but Barcate picks up her own. Barcate picks up her own rebound and puts it right back in the cage.
Goal number 26, Maddie Barcade.
That's where on the girls' side they talk it out. On the guys' side you have the goalie yelling at his defenders. I'll make the one save, but don't make me make him over and over again. I can bail you out once. Don't make me keep doing it. You definitely don't want to hang your goalie out to dry like that. Tough against a team like St. Margaret's, and especially against a player like Barcade. Beautiful play, by the way, if you recall. Moved around one. Crash came. She moved around another, got a shot, picked up the rebound, and put it away. Well done by the fellow redhead. So it is 4-2. 10:01 to go in the first half. Holly Riley on the St. Margaret's side has to be happy with what's going on so far. It's nice to have a lead against Foothill. Coming into the game, Coach Holly Riley really just emphasizing take every game as it is. Play for the day. Don't get ahead of yourselves. Don't think about the past. Don't think about the future. Just think about this moment. Prepare for the next game. Don't think about anything else. And that's exactly how her team is playing here. On the offense, she likes to see pace with ball and good decision making. And it looks like we've seen that so far. At least the scoreboard is a testament to that. Nice little low shot and a beautiful play by Becca Nalen. That's a tough shot to read from Campbell Case. She drops that stick low and then shoots the low bouncer. Beautiful initial save, and the ball, with a weird bit of English, bounced from the right side of the crease across the face of the crease right onto the goal line. And Nalen, heads up play, reaching that stick behind, almost like a NHL hockey goalie, dragging that stick behind on the shot behind her and able to knock that ball off the line. But on the tough ride, St. Margaret's able to get the ball back just over the restraining line. That St. Margaret's ride is a buzzsaw. Foothill found themselves in it, and they got cut. And now we have St. Margaret's with the ball. Kicks it to Kaylin Young. It's beautiful teamwork there from Allie Binder. Saw that she was surrounded by 3 players. Probably could have taken a step and tried to get to the cage, but no need to rush it. Put the ball in the stick of her captain Kaylin Young, and run the offense. And here, on the drive, Barcate took the check to the head from Lauren Kilger. And now Foothill will be down. Dangerous position, being down a man, or down a woman. to St. Margaret's. Margaret now will line up for the free position. She does have a crasher on either side, though. If she can get a step and get that stick up, you can see her take a very hard shot from this position. We wait on the whistle, and she pulls it out. Then, very nice patience by St. Margaret's, but there, physical error, mental error, not too sure what it was. She lost a grip on the ball, perhaps a little hesitation on the pass, perhaps good defensive play. I didn't see exactly what happened there. And Foothill able to get it back and right back at you. St. Margaret's able to clear it up, and now Case on the run with 2 to beat. She has Jordan Miles. Oh, almost a beautiful one-hand little catch out in front of her. Doesn't quite get it, and now Jordan Miles, like a veteran player, the freshman slows it down, waits for the rest of her team to get in. Feed on the inside to Campbell Case. The fake shot breaks the ankles of the defender. And now the ball is going to go back to Foothill for the noobs out there. The player closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds on a shot gets it back, and there we have good backup from JoJo Boston of Foothill, earning the turnover for her team. Seems like there have been a number of turnovers here now. It's the last 4 or 5 minutes. Girls going back and forth, playing hard, being ridden hard, and that's an illegal check. In that case, I think we're looking at a check toward the body. She made it so the player's stick went back almost into her own head. I'm almost surprised she didn't get called for a check to the head there. It looked like Topete might have taken it. And now Brooke Williams takes the pass to the midfield and breaks the triple team. She's known to do that. Very smooth stick work, very quick step. Very difficult to defend. And now they settle. Down by 2 with 6:25 to go. Brooke Williams top left. And they're going to just kick it until the penalty on Lauren Kilger's over. And St. Margaret's, I guess, content to let that happen. And now they are even. The entire Foothill bench calls it out. And we are back in action. Ball back left to Puma. Now top left there. In the stick of Ava Brand. Escalette gets through and kicks back out. And here comes now Williams getting around Barcate. Takes the foul, and the flag is up. And you hear the Foothill sideline call for the flag. That's good teamwork. Young players out there, help your girls out. When you see that flag go up, let them know they can hold that shot and get the free position. Although in this case, she was not in the 8 meters, so again, she's placed outside the 8. Feed inside to Escalette. Escalette then to Brand, who shoots. And she's called for a crease violation. I'm pretty far from this play, but I think that is a bad call. She got hammered from behind into the crease. Definitely a foul on St. Margaret's. Hate to see the 3-man crew miss that one. But now St. Margaret's with Campbell Case running the ball into the Foothill zone. Campbell Case gets a step, kicks it to Kaylin Young. Kaylin Young attacks, sees nothing, moves it to Jordan Miles. Jordan Miles, well defended. Got to hand it to Foothill there. Way to defend that 8 meter against a very dangerous St. Margaret's team. When they get on that fast break, they are tough to stop. A really nice overload there. You saw a little cut from the far side, a second cut, and then a third cut from the wing. Looked like they were going to work it down to the crease. And then Jordan Miles sneaking in from the wing. Not only great movement, but great vision from the ball handler to see that play developing. And certainly that's a play they would have practiced. You know, a lot of people look at a team like St. Margaret's and say, oh, they have all the talent in the world. Of course they're in first place, but talent doesn't get you all the way there. You have to work hard every day. And these girls, talked to Coach Holly Riley. She says they're as hard-working team as she's ever seen at the high school level, just day to day, grinding it out in practice. And it's at this time of year when you feel that and when it pays off. There's Nikki Miles on the drive, left to right to the right-handed shot, puts it on the stick side low. That's her second. That's the second for Nikki Miles. And as I was saying, these teams, they're going to be battered, they're going to be bruised, they're going to be stiff and sore from a long season, long preseason, but they're all playing for this moment. They want to be peaking right now as April ends and May comes along. Just when you want to take a nap, just when you want to take a break is when you have to work the hardest. And if you look at both of these teams, you certainly see these girls putting their heart on the line, and St. Margaret's certainly has earned it all season. Never a letdown, and here leading 5-2 against a tough Foothill team. And still dominating on the draw, Kaylin Young gets her own draw, kicks it to Campbell Case, being defended up high, makes it to Barcade. Barcade dances around a little bit, shakes her defender, kicks it down low with Audrey Larson. Larson now to Case. Case top right and now top center with Shea Houston, and then to the top left and now left side, working it around, spinning the ball. Back right now. Long pass to the top right and then to the right side. St. Margaret's playing at about 20 meters, about 5-6 yards out of the zone, and now you see Foothill looking to put a little pressure on the ball. Foothill doesn't necessarily want to let them wear out the last 3.5 minutes of this half, which it looks like St. Margaret's might have been looking to do. Take it down to about 30 seconds and play for the last shot. Not a conventional play with 3:30 left in the first half, but not necessarily the worst play given the situation they're in. No need to let Foothill get the ball in their stick, and they do not need a goal right now if they can finish with one or even just get a chance. And nice shot there from Barcade. Was able to bury that shot. I believe that was a lefty.
Goal number 26, Maddie Barcade, her second of the game.
And just as I am saying that they might not look to score, we see Barcade running, taking a shot, looked like from about 10 meters, certainly outside the 8-meter zone, on the left hand, shooting it to the far side. Not a lot of players can take that shot with their offhand. Barcade shows why she is going to be playing D1 lacrosse in a couple years. Becca Nayland typically is going to make that save. I wonder if she may have been screened there. There was a lot of traffic. That is a much longer shot than we usually see in the girls' game. Of course, in the guys' game, you see wind-ups from 12 yards, 15 yards. But in the girls' game, usually you're within 6-7 yards of the goal before you unleash that shot. And there, as I said, she was at least 10, if not more. And the draw goes up. We're going to get a redraw. It looked like the ball did not go over the shoulders of the players. Each team here looking to make a statement at the end of the regular season as they go into the postseason. These two teams, although they're playing today, know that they may see each other again. Whoever wins this game certainly gets the mental advantage going into the playoffs. And St. Margaret's again with the draw win. And if the game goes the way the draw goes, well, that's why you see the score of 6-2 right now. And here we are with Miles on the top to Young. Young top right to Jordan Miles. Takes the foul. And it's blown back into play. Little draw and dump there. And before she dumped it, the shooting space call is made. It's heads up lacrosse there by the St. Margaret's players. Looks like Jordan Miles, and can't see the number down there, but it might be Vandenberg. She saw that the draw and dump was there, that is Jordan Miles saw that as she attacked the cage and that slide came from the near side crease, that her teammate would be open coming up from below. That might have been even Campbell Case. Yeah, that was probably Case coming up from below. Looked to kick it to her, but the free position was awarded before that. And Case now not only gets around her defender, but leaves her defender on the ground. And really nice heads-up play there by St. Margaret's. Ball went over the restraining line, and St. Margaret's Shea Houston, sophomore, probably trained to scoop that ball, but sees the heads-up play, knows that she can't necessarily scoop and stay on sides, but she has a player on the other side of that restraining line, gives it a little flick pass, little hockey pass, and the ball stays in the stick of St. Margaret's. Now the ball's top right, right side, back right. Case kicks it to the top, Nikki Miles. She looks back at the clock. There are 1 minute, 4 seconds to go. Gets around her defender who comes out to meet her and is able to bury the shot. Looked a lot like the shot that was just taken by Margaret. Certainly a little bit closer. She was in the 8-meter area there as she took that shot. But after beating her player, got the left hand up and put it on the far side. Nikki Miles with her hat trick.
Goal number 4, Nikki Miles, her third of the game.
And with 57.4 to go, St. Margaret's certainly in control of the game. You can never count Foothill out. That's a sure thing. And with a halftime to go over it and make their adjustments, coaches Kate Hick and Christina Johnson certainly will have instructions for their players. Kate Hick, I believe, in her 5th season here at Foothill, 4th in the head coach role. I have flashbacks to seeing her here in 2015, Newport Harbor versus Foothill in the first round of the playoffs. We tried to play a 50-minute stall against them. We were certainly outmatched that day. We kept it fairly tight into the second, but then they ran away with it and beat us 10 or 11 to 1. And so now Foothill with the ball. Brooke Williams, top center. She's got 40 seconds. Ball is left side now, back left. Yeah, and it looks like St. Margaret's is offsides. And that's one of those games of telephone. One person calls it, then 2 people call it, then 4 people call it, then 8 people, and finally the refs get to hear it after about 16 or 32 people are calling for the offsides. It is one of those calls, I have to say, it must be tough for a ref. You're looking at the play, you have all sorts of responsibilities. Looking behind you to count players is not something you're necessarily going to do, and usually the fans and coaches will let you know. And here we are now with 33 seconds to go. Ball's at the top with Lauren Kilger. Gets around one player, meets the double team. Tough to drive against this St. Margaret's zone. Really want to be moving that ball, looking to cut through seams. Looks like a 3-second call is going to put Margaret behind. Looks like they're going to give Williams a bit of a path to goal here. Oh yeah, she's on the hanging hash, so she will have a path to goal, and she should take this here with 20 seconds to go. I can't imagine she'll be pulling out. She's got 1 crasher from her right, 3 from her left. Thought she might go up and under there, but then tried to get over the player and get around her. Took a bump, ended up on her knee, but now back up. She's going to be put on the line. And now with a better angle, still with crashers, but Brooke Williams knows how to get around those crashers. She has a quick first step. She gets to the cage, and really nice crash there by St. Margaret's. So quick off that line and so expert with the check. Looks like we got a call on going against Foothill, so it's going to be with St. Margaret's. When you have Brooke Williams running the line with that quick of a step, and you have a defender getting a stick for the trail check, you know those defenders are well trained. Great save at the end there by Ellie Jones. And we have St. Margaret's up 7-2 over Foothill as the half expires. I believe we have a 7-minute halftime. So we'll take 5 from the broadcast, let you get to your fridge and get a snack, and we'll see you on the other side. And we are back here at Tustin High School. Foothill's home away from home. Sometimes they play on their campus, sometimes they get the stadium. Tonight we're under the lights. And St. Margaret's in control of the game right now with the 7-2 lead. And speaking with Holly Riley before the game, you know, she acknowledged that everybody knows that they're running a zone, but their number one goals defensively are to have directive communication, make sure that those girls are really telling each other what they want to see, and that there's defensive pressure, and that they're owning the zone. In fact, she calls it the jungle. The team has bought into this concept that their zone is a jungle, and you just don't want to go in there. And you see Foothill with only 2 goals against them. That's some pretty effective defense against a high-powered offense like Foothill. We are lined up for the second half draw. Looks like Brooke Williams against Kaylin Young. Refs confer for a moment. And we're just about back into action. So Foothill looking to change the narrative here as we enter the second half. And it's going to start with a draw, and there it goes to Margaret on the nice one-hand stretch. She got up over her defender, got the ball to Nikki Miles, and a great sort of cuffed save from Becca Nalen. Looks like it got her right on the wrist. She's shaking it off a little bit. But no goalie's going to complain about it. She'll just take the next lump when it comes. Beautiful save by Becca Nalen. And now ball on the left side. Top left, top center, top right with Nikki Miles. Nikki Miles, the St. Margaret's ground ball, takeaway, and interception leader, and she's second on the team in assists. One of those players that captures all the quiet stats. And her young sister, Jordan, looks like she's going to mature into a top-notch player herself. Now, top center there with Nikki Miles. Moves around one defender, little flip pass to Young. Young looking across at the cut. That was Allie Binder. A little bit low on the pass. Beautiful little play up top there, this sort of figure-8 three-girl game from the key. We'll see if they go back to that. And it looks like no, they're posting up in the middle and now sending a stack to the far side. This is kind of a fun play I've seen St. Margaret's run a couple times. They go 2 girls, looks like Margaret and Case, and they look for those girls cutting off the near side stack. In that case, looked like Jordy Miles took the feed. Maybe a little bit of defensive pressure on the end there. Shot goes wide. From that play with Case and Margaret running on the side, I saw Case make a 25-30 yard feed into the 8-meter zone, into the 8-meter area for a quick stick. Pretty amazing stuff when you watch the St. Margaret's team play. Margaret now with a great shot. She makes the move, gets the stick up. Nice clean shot to the far side, but Becca Nalen up to the challenge, steps into the ball, gets that stick down, and controls the ball for the clean save. Goalie's out there, just watch Becca Nalen. The way she steps to that ball, that knee goes right where it needs to go. She takes that angle down, and then those hands are as quick as lightning. Coming into tonight, she had a 54% save average. Outstanding work for a goalie who's been playing against a lot of very, very difficult teams all year. The players that she's been playing against know how to shoot. And for her to come up with 54% saves, well, that's a great senior season. We'll look for her name on the all-county lists. And now St. Margaret's able to move the ball from Ashley Caruana into the stick of Campbell Case. Campbell Case takes the foul, and now she feeds. Nice, beautiful pass to Kaylin Young. I mentioned a second ago, a 25-30 yard pass, and Campbell Case is able to put that ball on a dime from distance. And now Brooke Williams, No slouch herself. She's going to take that ball if you hang that stick, even an inch, and that's exactly what she did. Picked it up, and now Foothill gets a clear of their own, going through Kelly Cowdell and into the stick of Bella Escalette, who now brings it behind, facing a little bit of a double team, and that's going to be in the sphere. Nikki Miles looking for the opportunistic check from behind, hangs the head of the stick in there. We call that in the sphere. You have to imagine a 7-inch space around each player's head. You cannot put your stick into that space. And now ball is top center with Ava Brand. A little bit of movement from the top there on Foothill's part. Little run here, and now ball goes to Williams. Williams facing a double team, able to shake it for a moment, now has to pull out of pressure. Ball now near side, back left, and back center with Madison McDonald. McDonald to Puma, ball goes down, but Ava Brand is there to scoop it up. Ava Brand brings it back into play to Brooke Williams. Brooke Williams now to Kilger. Kilger running across. Defense standing strong. They set up a wall there. 3-4 players, you're not going to get around them, and so Foothill has to go back to work from the set. High pressure defense. That's the high pressure defense that Holly Riley likes to coach and that we like to see from them. And I believe was Kaylin Young who read the play, got the knockdown, scooped the ball, moved it to Barcade on the successful clear. Now, ball in the stick of Campbell Case, top right. And they are playing a patient game. Looks like they're making a few changes. We see Vandenberg coming back in the game with an Indigo Agan coming out. And ball's top center with Nikki Miles. A little over 5 minutes into the second half. No score so far in the second half. Two high-powered offenses, but also certainly two high-powered defenses. Defense, of course, the aspect of girls lacrosse that gets overshadowed by offense. All the stats seem to be offensive. Defense is such a team game where offense can be such an individual's game. Nice move there by Barcade, moved it to her left hand, shot it just wide. Looked like Becca Nalen had it covered either way. But St. Margaret's backs it up, able to maintain possession, and now top center with Barcade from Nikki Miles. Barcade looking to run now, switches to her left, gets around the defender. Crash comes from Foothill, she kicks it high, should be a shooting space or not. And here comes Nikki Miles. Moving left to right, brings it back up to the top. Of course, St. Margaret's is in no hurry, working the two-girl game from the top. Got an interesting four-girl stack down on the far side there, right on the crease. Have to imagine they work it from the top there, and then when they see slides coming off that crease, those girls are instructed to cut in the wake of those slides for the quick inside feeds. And St. Margaret's is certainly a team that can can pull off those tight quarter feeds. And now a little flip pass, fake flip pass. Oh, that's brilliant. Nikki Miles with the fake flip pass. And this is part of the head game when you get two top-notch teams against each other. You set up those flip passes by making them. You make a flip pass, see the ball change direction. Make a flip pass, see the ball change direction. The defense gets used to it. They see those flip passes and they go the other direction, and right there, fake flip pass. She keeps her body between the head of her stick and the defender, so the defender does not see that the ball never leaves the stick, keeps the ball in her stick, and as that defender just goes with the girl they think the flip pass is going to, ball stays with the ball carrier, and she gets to the cage free of charge. Buries the shot for the first goal of the second half, 8-2. I believe that's 4 for Nikki Miles tonight. Having a monstrous game so far. We see a happy birthday sign on the back of the Foothill bench. I believe that's Anna Shipcott, Jr. Imagine she's turning 17. One more year before it all counts. And here we go. Kaylin Young on the draw win. Good play by Vanessa Topete, denying the ball to Campbell Case. Tough to deny that ball to Campbell Case. It went down, and Jordan Miles was able to pick up the loose change. And now top right, we have Campbell Case. She brings it to the right side and kicks it to the top. Young to Barcate. Barcate cross to Binder. Binder down low. Can't see the number down there. And to the top to Barcate. Top right. And top center. Looking to possess here is St. Margaret's. They will not be in a hurry for the rest of this game unless they fall behind, and they won't fall behind if they're not in a hurry. Funny how that works. Here we go, top center. Barcade now with the exaggerated cradle. And top left with Young. Young looking to drive. Loses the ball on the face dodge. I believe that's the first mistake I've seen from St. Margaret's tonight. And Kilger now running against Barcate, and Jordan Miles looking for that trail check from behind. Stick raised for to drop the hammer, and she doesn't see it. Very mature play for the freshman there. Nikki Miles not going for the check until she's sure she has it, but she was ready to throw it at any time there. Nice little grab there on the high pass from Kilger. Brooke Williams able to take it and corral it with the one-hand stretch, and Ava Brand with the rare miss. Have to imagine that is a couple weeks off the field, coming home to roost for her. She is not typically going to miss that. Sort of strange to see on one end of the field, Kaylin Young drop the ball on a dodge, and then on the other end of the field, a drop ball from Ava Brand. Two of the best players on the field, two of the best players in the county, and it just goes to show even the best make mistakes. And mid-sentence, in a bit of coincidence, ball goes down. Campbell Case, extraordinary competitor, is not going to let anyone get to that ball ahead of her, and if they are, she's going to give them a little nudge. Campbell Case grew up with two older brothers who played D1 soccer, and you can tell that they built a tough little sister out of her. Here we go. Pete now picks up her momentary error. No harm, no foul, and she's now running up the far side. Looks like she has a step. Barcate comes across to try to meet her, but she's going to get the successful clear over the restraining line, and Foothill goes to work from the set, and Foothill takes the timeout. Part of that might be strategic and making their adjustments. Another part just might be the teams are tired. You see these mistakes, you see the ball going down. Maybe just give our team a breather, let them refocus, make sure that they can keep their heads in it and not give up any ground. Continuing to look at some scores from around Orange County. Beckman took down Woodbridge 13-5. That was on April 18th. Capo Valley over El Toro 13-6. Mater Dei beat Foothill 14-6. That was our MaxLaxOC game of the week last week. We have Torrey Pines over Corona Del Mar 14-4. And a shout out to Allie Simons, the coach of CDM. She's been there for, I think, about a decade, maybe even more. Gonna hang up the CDM cleats at the end of this season. She's had a great run there. They've made it to the Final Four. They've graduated amazing players that have gone on to play D1 ball. Wish nothing but the best to Coach Allie. Valencia over Yorba Linda 8-7. El Dorado over Rosary 17-4. Santa Margarita took down La Salle 14-4. St. Margaret's over Esperanza 17-2. Not even a storybook season is going to get Esperanza that close to St. Margaret's. Chaparral over Murrieta Mesa 9-7 down in the Temecula area. San Juan Hills fell to Trabuco Hills 14-5. Chaminade College Prep over Notre Dame 17-4 up in LA. And then on April 20th, we had San Clemente over El Toro 17-1. San Clemente loves to run up the score. West Ranch over Chaminade 10-8. Valencia over Edison in a tight game 5-4. St. Margaret's over Beckman 18-7. El Dorado over Laguna Beach running it up 17-1. Aliso Niguel over Tesoro 12-9. Capo Valley over Dana Hills 16-11. Poway over CDM 14-0. Which brings us to this week, which we'll get at our next stoppage of play. As I talk to players at Newport Harbor, as I talk to coaches around the league, one sentiment they all express: they can't believe it's the end of the season already. It does fly by. The days go by. It takes forever to get to the end of them, but the season goes by quickly. Mentioned that Nikki Miles is the ground ball takeaway and interception leader of the St. Margaret's team, second in assists. The scoring leader is Campbell Case. She has the most assists on the team. And we're back to work here with Foothill, working top center, Lauren Kilger. Now to the near side here, that's the left side. Back left and back center. Foothill looking like they're playing with a little bit more intensity here, and the ball goes down behind the cage. St. Margaret's able to scoop it up and move it to goalie Ellie Jones. Jones moves it to her defender. Quick movement up the field to Young, to Nikki Miles. Miles now with a head of steam, gaining the zone. Sending Jordan through and kicks it to her. Another little pass there to Case. She ducks up and under, and a beautiful save by Becca Nalen. Stays high, matches up against a tough shooter in Campbell Case. And now Foothill looking for the clear ball just out of the stick, and Nikki Miles is there to scoop it up. She's good on those turnovers. Topetti tried to break up the play, and Campbell Case was able to get through. Campbell Case takes the shot, but again, Becca Nalen just eating those balls up. Rebound came out to St. Margaret's, but they missed the high-pressure shot at the end, but they're able to maintain possession. Ball now in the stick of Campbell Case, back right. And the ball is top right now with Nikki Miles. She looks like she has an opening. She's going to take it, makes a nice little dodge, and gets around. Looks like a defensive breakdown there, a rare defensive breakdown for the Foothill team. No way that they're going to want Nikki Miles running freely at their cage, not for her fifth goal. And looked like they collapsed to the middle while Miles was just working the outside there. Miles able to finish expertly on that. And even a strong goalie like Becca Nalen is going to have trouble against a play like that. We're at 13:47. Foothill's down by 7. Not out of reach, but getting there. The largest deficit I've ever seen overcome in a girls lacrosse game is 7. I've seen a 6-goal deficit overcome on the guys' side. And in the files of pathetic announcer stories, that would have been the Big Ten Championship from 1996. I was there. University of Michigan, my alma mater, my team came back against University of Wisconsin, scoring 7-1 in the fourth quarter. I think Bruce Springsteen said it best. Glory days, they will pass you by. And here we are, Barcade running top left into the Foothill zone, takes the check. Some instructions coming from the sideline. Coach Holly Riley, and ball is up at the top there. Allie Binder kicks it to Barcade. Barcade over to Kaylin Young. Looks like a cut coming on the crease here, and another couple cuts coming on the near side of the crease here. I bet they'll layer those cuts, but the feed is not yet to come. Working the 3-girl game up top with the little merry-go-round on the crease. You know, they stack up on that far side of the crease. And at the top with the 3-girl game, working the little figure 8. Tough to defend as those girls fill from one stack to the other. Barcade got around the defense, but didn't feel she had the shot. Maturely pulls it out, re-attacks, gets around her defender, and bounces the shot home to give the Tartans double digits on the scoreboard, 10-2. Sorry, that was Barcade. And both teams conferring after the goal. You might see this after virtually every goal I've seen, both teams conferring. It's not uncommon to see the defenses huddle up just to confer and see what happened, talk it out, make sure they cover it the next time. But you see also the attack meeting up, using that time wisely. Those are smart players looking to take advantage of every moment to get on the same page and make sure that they maintain their advantage. Looking at some other scores here, Trabuco Hills over Laguna Hills, 21-5. Beckman over Northwood, 19-5. Royal took down Chaminade, 10-9. And that was on April 23rd. We are halfway through the second half, entering the official fourth quarter, 12:33 on the clock. And now Foothill probably looking to play for pride, maybe looking to chip a few off this lead just to work on their game. Ball's down in the scrum. Both teams having trouble getting a stick on it. And the ball goes to St. Margaret's. Nope. Ball is going to go back to Foothill. And you still hear those support players on the Foothill sideline screaming loud. Gotta love the spirit. Down by 8 to the #1 team in OC, a team they might be seeing in the playoffs, and they're still cheering hard, making sure that their girls feel their support from the sideline. And here we are now, balls at X with Brooke Williams. Williams, who's good at working the self-clear, able to work through double teams and triple teams. And now we have Ava Brand working from behind. Tough to get inside on that St. Margaret zone. And now ball is top left here with Escalette. She brings it down back left and kicks it to back center. Ball's at X with Ava Brand. Ava Brand looking back to Brooke Williams. They kick it to the top right. Lauren Kilger kicks it back low. And nice little feed on the inside to Brooke Williams. And I'm wondering if that's a play that they've worked on. Could have been improvised, and the players that were in it certainly had the ability to improvise that, but they kick it to the top to Kilger, back down to Ava Brand. Brand hits Brooke Williams, who the defense had lost after those long passes. I quite frankly have never seen a play quite like that. Moving the ball from down low to the top, back down low, and then to the feed in the middle. Very pretty lacrosse from Foothill. And if they're playing for pride, well, there it is. That is their first goal since early in the first half. And we are lined up for the draw. Still Kaylin Young for St. Margaret. She went over the top of Brooke Williams there. I'm surprised there's no call on that. Usually you get the stick over there. It's probably in the sphere, but even just climbing up the back like that. But St. Margaret's now with the ball. Ball, nice pass there. Left-handed pass from Nikki Miles to Barcate. Barcate gets it down low, and now we see it with Campbell Case through, I think, Vandenberg down there. Had virtually everyone on the St. Margaret's team touching the ball, or at least on the St. Margaret's attack, touching that ball on the clear. And now they work the three girls up top. They'll keep it out there until Foothill gets out there on them, and you see those Foothill girls sneaking up. And it's dangerous. You start to extend that defense, and a team that's quick and sneaky, like St. Margaret's, will find the seams in that opened up defense. Now Barcate back to the same place the drive originally came from, and she kicks it back to Nikki Miles. Nikki Miles takes the hit, pulls it out of pressure, directs some traffic, sees a couple cuts, ball to Case, little kick step as she attacks the center and kicks it up top. St. Margaret's possessing, working the clock, ball going back and forth between the Miles sisters. And now working from GLE, goal line extended, Campbell Case throws it up top to Barcate, the redhead. Ball comes down to Case, she ducks under, and she's able to dump the ball into the cage, but looks like she took a stick on the elbow. It's pretty rare that you see Campbell Case show any sign of pain or weakness in there. I'm imagining as that ball went in the cage, she probably took a shaft right on that elbow, perhaps on the funny bone, but maybe even just on that pressure point that's there. Probably numbed it out and gave her a little dead arm. We'll see if she shakes that off. 11-3, Tartans over the Knights. Maddie Barcade, second in goals for St. Margaret's. She has 44 goals, with Kaylin Young leading goal scoring coming into tonight with 49. And Nikki Miles had 31 coming into tonight. I think she has 36 now. And as I mentioned before, the assists on this St. Margaret's team, very impressive. 28 for Nikki Miles, 23 for Kaylin Young, 32 for Campbell Case, 21 for Maddie Barcade. Two girls with 9, Kate Houston and, Kinsale Houston and Jordan Miles. A lot of the times you have teams, their best players are getting 9 assists. Their high scorer assists are getting the 9, and in this case it's the players that are tied for 5th on the team. A lot of back and forth there. We had a foul on the initial draw. Foothill got it. Ball gets knocked down. Good play by St. Margaret's, and then some back and forth. We have Kaylin Young on the ground. Gets physical out there, and especially as the girls get tired, and perhaps those balls are down a little bit sloppier than what these teams are used to. They're going after them full speed, and you see those bodies colliding. It is, as we say, a jungle out there. Refs now conferring, trying to get the call right and make sure that whatever's supposed to happen does happen. Crazy statistic here. St. Margaret's has given up an average of only 10 shots a game, and they're scoring an average of 16 goals a game. Think about it. And here we go. Kaylin Young with a full head of steam kicks it into the 8-meter area to Campbell Case, and Becca with the hip save, standing strong in there. We mentioned earlier on that Barcade goal, we had moving left to right across the goal face. As that goalie steps that way, you put it back against her. That time, Becca Nalen knew what was coming and stayed strong, didn't overplay that drive, maintained the angle, and was able to get her body on that ball. Expert goaltending. Ball's going to stay with St. Margaret's on the foul. You see Foothill now playing in an especially aggressive brand of defense. They know that if they want to make anything happen, it's got to happen right now. And ball is in play behind, back left with Campbell Case. Case working now to the near side. Moves it to the top there, Barcade. Top center with Nikki Miles. Now working their 3 up top and their 4 down on the crease. You see that Foothill defense sneaking out pretty high, not wanting him just to play with it out there, trying to force the action a little bit, perhaps look for the steal. Vanessa Topete, the veteran defender, she'll read the play very well. The anchor of that defense, and now on the crash in the triple team, Foothill successfully defends against the Tartan attack. Top left now with Nikki Miles. Still seeing a stack on the far side down by the crease, sort of between the elbow and the crease there. They're just working it as the ball carriers are looking for the feeds. They move it to the other side of the crease. Shift a girl out of there and work the 3-girl game from the top. Now Nikki Miles here on the near side, top right. Goes across, nice little pick from Jordan Miles, kicks it back to the rolling, not to the rolling Jordan, but to Barcade, who's filling in. And Barcade now driving on brand, and now picks up Kilger. High vision on the feed there, saw a play well before it developed completely, put the ball about where it needed to be, wasn't quite able to be hauled in. I didn't see who missed that pass. It would have been a pretty amazing goal if she'd been able to turn it around. Now we have Barcade top and misses the pass, but it looks like Case will recover the ball for St. Margaret's, and we're going to get the timeout from Coach Holly Riley. Immediately goes to check out Campbell Case and that elbow. Mentioning Vanessa Topete a minute ago, playing that high defense, putting pressure out there, trying to read the plays, trying to shake it up. She is the anchor of that team defense. She is a workhorse, gives everything to the team. She's a leader out there. She is a senior this year. Coach Kate Hick did tell me that when she leaves, that will be a big hole. On the other side, St. Margaret's, of course, with that outstanding Team D, have to be outstanding Team D if you're going to run any sort of a successful zone. And to run a successful zone against high-powered teams like Foothill, like Mater Dei, you really have to be on your toes. They graduated only 3 seniors last year, and the last couple years they've been a strong team, really working hard in the Final Four last year, 1 goal away from the final game of the OC Championship on a number of controversial calls and some clock management in that game. Year before that, number 2 team in the county all season, just been coming on strong the last couple of years. But that young team that was full of freshmen and sophomores and some juniors the last couple of years has now matured. And those juniors and seniors are really leading the charge, and there are just plenty of talented, amazing players coming in to fill their ranks once this year's seniors leave. Be a little bit of a harder hit this year. They will be losing Ellie Jones, their goalie, Emily Suh, and Kinsale Houston. But the core of their team will remain. I should say the core of their attack will remain. And I missed one big one. I knew there was one. Kaylin Young, they will be missing. So most of the core of the attack will remain. Kaylin Young will be graduating, playing tonight in what I believe is her last regular season game of her high school career. And it looks like we're about ready to restart. 6:26 left in the second half. 11-3, St. Margaret's. Ball's in the stick of Nikki Miles, top right. Ava Brand comes out to defend her. And you do see this high-pressure defense now from Foothill. Even though those St. Margaret's girls are playing 20, 25 meters out, you see them coming out to meet him. They don't want to let him just sort of sit there and run out the clock. Even if they can't come back and make the 8 goals they need to force overtime, just playing that hard, aggressive defense up top gives them a chance to practice that style. And now, nice little feed on the inside, Jordan Miles. Well defended for a moment there, but then I think the late check has been called. Jordan Miles will be put on the line for the free position shot. Good lacrosse there all around from St. Margaret's, working it up top, dealing with the pressure. Always cool under pressure are the St. Margaret's ball carriers. And then as those defenders shift and move to try to put that pressure on there, they find the seams and they're able to feed the ball into the dangerous Jordan Miles. And now top right with Maddie Barcade. Hangs the stick for a while looking to feed and now goes to the drive. Kilger looks for the trail check and Barcade able to evade it. Kicks it back up top to Miles. Didn't seem like she had an angle on that shot. Now Miles is able to get the angle. Got around her defender. Got her hips around. Made the shot. Beat Becca Nayland. But hit the post. And on the slash, Jordan Miles takes the yellow card. She'll be sitting for 2 minutes. For those that are watching and used to hockey or boys lacrosse, you might think a slash has to be stick-to-body contact, but in the girls' game, it's any uncontrolled or dangerous check. Even if you miss the player, they are going to call that. I recall in one of the first games I ever coached, I was losing my mind against an official who called a slash when my girl did not get hit, when my girl did not hit the opponent. And they kindly informed me that, no, that doesn't have to be the case. And here we are now with Foothill on the ball and the one-player advantage. Back right. That's with Maddie McDonald. And now moving it to the top with Ava Brand. Across to Kilger. Kilger looking to feed inside. Nice little feed in there for just a moment. The Foothill team was able to find just the slimmest seam, and Brooke Williams was able to get through. She received the pass, came right off her stick, but she took the check to the head, lost the ball, and now we see Ashley Karyuna coming off the field, and now we're going to have the 7v5 for Foothill. This is also one of those times when St. Margaret's is at huge risk of going off sides if there's a transition. It's uncommon to have only 5 girls going into the zone. And now we'll see if Foothill can make good on it. And the ball goes down, and fortunately for Foothill, they're able to maintain possession. Certainly that would be a heartbreaker if on the 5v7 Foothill lost the ball. And now Williams gets around, makes the shot, goes just wide. It's very possible that Ellie Jones got a stick on that. She made the move toward the ball. And now coming in back right for Foothill. Kicking it up to the top, well read by Nikki Miles, and if you don't laser that ball into Kilger, Miles is going to read that play. Broke it up for a moment, but Foothill able to maintain possession. Ball in the stick of Lauren Kilger. And we still have the 7v5. Moves the ball across to Brand. Brand attacking and draws the shooting space violation. She will be put on the line. Ava Brand, dangerous goal scorer. And she puts it away. And I'm looking at my notes here again as I call Ava Brand's name. I had been saying she had been suffering a concussion and been knocked out. In fact, that is incorrect. She did not have a concussion. My notes have Ashley Stokes with the concussion, and indeed Ashley Stokes has not been playing tonight as expected. My apologies on that egregious error. And now Foothill with 4 goals to St. Margaret's 11. It is an 7-goal game for the math teachers out there. 2 minutes 48 seconds remaining. The officials conferring about something, not entirely sure what. I am not mic'd to them. I believe there's still the one-man advantage for Foothill. In the girls' game, there is no release of the penalty on the goal. You can score, in theory, infinite goals while you have the penalty. I believe there's a question about the time left on the yellow card. The official and the scorer and Coach Holly Riley are talking it through as the Foothill side looks on. And now the refs will come back to confer. Official still has her hand up. I don't think she's going to blow the play into action. I'm trying to hear the conversation, but it's just out of range for me. With Ashley Stokes on the sideline, Foothill team is missing 57 goals and 29 assists over 13 games. That's an average of 4 goals and 2 assists per game. Certainly they would have wanted that last week against Mater Dei. They'd want it this week against St. Margaret's. And you can only imagine that the Foothill girls are all keeping their fingers crossed that maybe they'll get their superstar back for the playoffs. Mentioned Nikki Miles, the ground ball takeaway and interception leader for St. Margaret's. 30 ground balls on the season, 8 interceptions, 17 takeaways. The next best player has 14 takeaways, and that's Kaylin Young. 3 of those are interceptions, with Campbell Case on 11 takeaways. As an attacker, you often see Campbell Case chasing those defenders out of her zone, looking for the trail check. And it doesn't look like there's been any change made to the time left on the clock. I don't know if they adjusted the time on the yellow cards. Not too sure what that whole conversation about or what the result of it is. Looks like Jordan Miles is back in the box. Looks like maybe for a second or two. I think she's ready to come back on. Whistle blows. And I would imagine maybe the conversation was, when can she come back on because of the offsides rules on the draw. And now she is back on. It is a 7-6 advantage for Foothill. See if they can take advantage of it as Brooke Williams tries to get her way, power her way through the quadruple team. I don't think St. Margaret's is going to let that happen, even against a strong player like Brooke Williams. The official sets up the free position. It's from the 12, but she has, interestingly enough, a lane on her left hand. I could see her driving to the left, maybe drawing the shooting space violation from Emily Suh. A little while to administer the penalty here, and now she is on, well, still not quite on the 8 meter, about on the 9 meter. Oh my gosh, really nice shot there from Brooke Williams. Was able to attack that free space in the 8 meter, and as she's running one way, really get those hips or get those shoulders back around and square to the cage and put the ball back against the green on the awkward looking but strangely effective right-handed shot. I guess everything is strangely effective when you are Brooke Williams. She knows how to play the game. She marches back to the center spot to go up against Maddie Barcate on the draw, and now Barcate leaving the draw, replaced by Kaylin Young. Barcate moves to the circle, pushing Jordy Miles to the defensive end. Audrey Larson comes out of the game. And under 2 to go, 1:43. And as they have been doing all night, we have St. Margaret's on the draw control. That's Kaylin Young moving the ball neatly to Nikki Miles. Nikki Miles on this side to Campbell Case. And then back up to the top. Both teams still calling out their sets, calling out their plays, calling out their defenses. Campbell Case with a nice little, almost a behind the back pass. It was sort of back over her head. Either way, it was a nifty little play. Nikki Miles shot the ball wide, backed up by St. Margaret's, and now up top with Barcade. She shifts left and right, moves it to her right hand, takes the shooting space foul, and lines up on the 8 meter. It's the first and last 5 minutes of this game that'll haunt the Foothill players tonight. They have been able to score in those periods. 2 goals in the first 4 or 5 minutes, 3 goals here in the last 5 minutes. But too spread out, a little too late. Becca Nalen comes up with a big save just to prove she can still do it here at the end of the game. Foothill now, 45 seconds to go. ball in the stick of Maddie Fox as she brings it in under pressure from, who gets the ball to Peyton Puma, who's under pressure. Sorry, that was still Maddie Fox. And she loses the ball to Nikki Miles. Nikki Miles looks for the long bomb to Campbell Case. Doesn't quite get it there, but on the bounce, gets past the Foothill player. Case gets to the cage. Little head fake, little head and shoulders fake, and puts the ball away for her hat trick. And that brings the score to 12-5. This is, of course, our final broadcast of the MaxLax Game of the Week. For those of you who are with us tonight, and for any of you who have been with us throughout the season, we thank you for listening in. We hope you've enjoyed it. We love to be able to bring lacrosse out to the masses through our live streams. Shout out to Jonathan, our cameraman. Shout out to Scott, the man behind MaxLaxOC, who is our one-man production crew. And just for good measure, St. Margaret's makes another draw win. Campbell Case tries to lay that shot into the far side, and Becca Nalen was having none of it. Keeps that stick high, snags the shot for the clean save. And if you haven't figured out, I love watching Becca Nalen play. I love watching Campbell Case play. So I love that last play of the game. And here we are with the final score of 12-7 here at Tustin High School. For the entire crew here, this is Matt Armstrong saying thank you for watching the 12-5. Thank you for watching the MaxLax Game of the Week. And I remind you, let the refs ref, let the players play, let the coaches coach, and don't believe the florist when he tells you that the roses are free.